So before I start, I just want to remind you that 10% of the earnings of my channel goes to helping kids sports in Africa. Remember that, watch the whole video, and don't forget to share this video with family and friends. Let's support this cause. And I'm involved in this charity directly. So I go to the places and make sure that kids get the proper shoes, the proper gear, and coaches also get the proper coaching equipment as far as soccer balls, cones, and so on. So watch this video and don't forget to support this cause. Thank you. So here is some provincial exam logarithms and exponents questions. So the first one, they gave you 81 to the x minus 1 equals 1 over 27 to the power of x minus 4. And they want you to solve this. Of course, you could do this using logs by logging both sides, but that's the longer way to do it. I think the best way to do it here is just, we see that 81 and 27, they have a common base which of 3. So 81 could be expressed as, the 81 could be expressed as 3 to the power of 4. And then you still have the x minus 1 on the outside. And also the 27 could be expressed as 3 to the power of 3. And all of that to the power of x minus 4. Now here I'm just gonna distribute the 4 into x minus 1, so we get 4x minus 1, so 3 to the power of 4x minus 4, sorry, that's what I meant, distribute that into the x into the 1, equals, the 3 on the bottom here is not gonna help me, so I have to bring the 3 to the top, and you know the loss of exponent, if you bring the 3 to the top, then you have to make this 3 negative, and then you still have the x minus 4. Now, once we have the bases here being the same, and on both sides, you could just cancel the bases. And this becomes just an algebraic expression. This would be the negative 3 there, so negative 3x plus 12. And therefore, move the negative 3x to this side, move the negative 4 to that side. So you're going to get 7x equals 16. And therefore, x equals 16 over 7. And this is the answer. I already circled that. The only way we could solve for x here is to log both sides, because the log rule says when you log something, you could bring the exponent down. And that's one of the reasons we use logs. So to be able to bring this x down, you have to log both sides. And whatever you do to the one side, you have to do to the other side. Log 5 equals 3 log 3 to the power of x. Now, the next step is to bring the exponent down. And so the x comes down in front of the log, and you get log 3. To isolate the x, we have to divide both sides by log 3. By log 3. So therefore, x equals log 5 over log 3. So in the multiple choice answers here, we don't have that. So I think what they used here, they used one of the rules, or one of the log rules or laws, that says log base a x could be changed to log x over log a. We call this rule here change of base. Okay, so you could go this way or you could come back this way. So in this situation here, to get the answer, you have to go from this form to that form. So basically what happens, x becomes, or x would equal log base 3, 5. 3 being the a and 5 being the x. So that's what we did. And therefore, this will be B for your answer. So C here, or sorry, number 3, you have a b to the power of x equals c. Of course, to bring the exponent down, you have to log both sides. But if you log right away here both sides, the question will be a little bit harder than if you do a different step at the beginning where you isolate the b to the power of x by dividing both sides by a. So you divide both sides by a, And then b to the x would equal c over a. Now you could log both sides. So now introduce log to both sides. Log b to the x equals log c over a. Now you could bring the x down, then you get log b. Also, when you have c divided by a, log c divided by a, remember that we could change that to subtracting. We could change that to, by expanding the logs, we could change it to log c minus log a. And to isolate the x or solve for the x here, you have to divide both sides by log b, and therefore your answer will be x equals, because that cancels, log c minus log a over log b, and log c minus log a over log b. So the answer would be C. So let's go to the next question. We have 2 to the power of x equals 3, 5 to the power of x plus 1. So this one here is a little bit tricky. Yeah. And it's a question that they like to throw on tests because students find it a little bit harder. And you know what teachers do? They always want to make the students' life a bit harder. So to solve this, we have 2 to the power of x equals 3 times 5 to the power of x plus 1. I need to log both sides, you know, and in the previous question, I told you that you could divide by this number to make your life easier, but here you can't because this 2 has an x on top of it. So if you divide by 3, it doesn't help in this situation. So here you have to just introduce logs to both sides right away. So you have log 2 to the power of x equals log 3 times 5 to the x plus 1. Now remember, this here is multiplication, okay? Let's bring the x down here. So we have x log 2 equals, when it's multiplication, you could change this to log 3 plus expanding the logs. When you're multiplying two things, you could change it to log. So just to tell you what the rule is. So when you have log xy, you could change it to log x plus log y. So that's what the rule is, okay? So now we're gonna change it to log 3 plus log 5 to the power of x plus 1. And the next thing I'm gonna do is just gonna write x log 2 equals log 3 plus, you bring the x plus 1 down, so, and make sure you put it in brackets when you bring it down, log 5. And at this stage here, this stays as x log 2 equals log 3. What you need to do here is expand the log 5 into the x and plus 1. So just the property of distribution backwards. Okay, so x log 5 plus log 5. So just in case you didn't know what we did, we just multiplied the log 5 into the x and the plus 1. Now I'm just going to take it here. So we have x log 2 minus x log 5 equals log 3 plus log 5. Now we could take out the greatest common factor, which is x, from here because both of them have x in them, so both terms. So you could take x out as the greatest common factor, and you get log 2 minus log 5 equals log 3 plus log 5. And now you could divide both sides by log 2 minus log 5 to isolate the x, and the final answer will be x equals log 3 plus log 5. over log 2 minus log 5, and that's your final answer. Yeah. How about here? Here they want you to solve for x. So to be able to do that, you have to combine these two logs first. You could change this to log 3 minus x and 3 plus x equals log 5. Addition, you could change it to multiplication, as we know the log rule that I showed you here earlier. So we went from here to there. Now, when you have one log on the left-hand side, one log on the right-hand side, and nothing before the log here, you could cancel the logs. And once you cancel the logs, now you could FOIL this, which will give you 9 plus 3x minus 3x minus x squared equals 5. That's 9 minus x squared equals 5, because this and this will cancel. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move the negative x squared to the side so it becomes positive, and move the 5 to the side at the same time. So it'll be 9 minus 5 equals x squared. 4 equals x squared, and therefore x equals square root both sides, and it'll give you plus and minus 2, plus or minus 2. Now, always when you get your answers, you have to go back and test them here. Okay, so if you put in the 2 there, that's 3 minus 2 is 1, 3 plus 2 is 5. Both of them are positive. 2 works. The negative 2, if you put it here, 3 minus negative 2 will give you 5, and 3 plus negative 2 will give you 1. So both of them works. And the reason why is that you cannot take the log of a negative number. So if the number that you get here as a solution, if you plug it in and you end up having a negative answer, you cannot log that negative number. So you have to reject that answer if it gives you a negative number that you log in. Okay, so let's do one more question, and then I have to head back to work. Here's a question that a lot of students get stuck on. So basically you have log base 2, log base 4, brackets log base 5 x, close a bracket, and close bracket equals -1. So a lot of students don't know where to go with this one. Okay, and you always bring this back to the basics. The first law in logs that you have to know, it's log base a, x equals b, means x equals a to the b, or to the power of b. So the base raised to the power of this will give you this. Yeah. Now what you want to do, you want to think of the 2 in this here as the a, and all of this as the x. Okay, so this is your x, and this is your b right here. So this is your a. So x, which is this here, so we're changing from here to here. So log base 4 of log base 5 x equals a, which is 2, to the power of b, which is -1. Yeah. And therefore now we change this into log base 4 log base 5 x equals 1/2. I'm going to change this to 1/2. 2 to the -1 is the same as the power 1/2. Now again, we're going to do this one more time. So this is your a right here, the 4. This is your b, and all of this here is your x. Okay. So x, which is log base 5 x, equals a, which is 4 to the power of 1/2, which gives me log base 5 x to the power of 4 to the power of 1/2 is the same as square root of 4. So that will give me 2. Now, after this, this becomes exactly that again. So that's the a, that's b, and that's your x. So x would equal 5 squared, which equals 25. And therefore, this is your answer right here. So it looks complicated, but if you dissect it bit by bit, you get to the answer. Okay, I think I'll keep it here for today. Just want to remind you that 10% of the earning for my channel is going to go to helping kids sports in Africa. So just to equip kids with the right sports gear, and hopefully one day we could even build soccer turf where kids could play in a safe environment. This is my goal, and I'm determined to get there. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button, share with family and friends, and subscribe. Till next time, bye-bye.